Guess what? I'm back. So at this point, you should have watched your multi-step inequalities notes and completed all that jazz. Make sure that you have everything filled out. Make sure that you completed everything that you're supposed to complete. And now here we are at the practice work once again, okay? So these are multi-step inequalities. It's kind of like the same thing that we've been doing, except there's just new components, right? So I'm going to rewrite this down here. Number one, we're going to start number one. 21 is greater than 1, negative 7r, and negative 3r. Now, before we get started, the first thing that we can do is look on the right-hand side of our equation and see where we can combine like terms. And I see two things that we can combine. We have a negative 7r and we have a negative 3r that we can combine, right, to become 10r. So I'm going to rewrite this as 21 is greater than 1 and negative or minus 10r. Now, is there anything else I can combine on the right-hand side of my equation? Are there any other r's I can combine together? No. Are there any other numbers I can combine together? No. On this side, is there anything I can combine? No. So now I'm going to do the same thing that I've been doing. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides of my inequality, So this leaves me with 20 is greater than a negative 10r. Here's the deal. These two indicate what? They indicate multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is what? Division. So we're going to divide on both sides, but we're dividing by a negative. So what does this mean? We're going to be flipping our signs. So n is less than negative 2. Okay? So now we have to decide, is this an open or a closed circle? This is an open circle. So the open circle is going to go under negative 2. And r is less than negative 2. So if it's less than, that means going to the left, right? So that means we're going to draw a circle and it's going to be going to the left. Wonderful. All right. Now let's move on to number 2. I'll do number 2 with you. Looking at this equation, I'm going to rewrite it right here. 2 is less than a negative 4a plus 1 plus 1. So the very first thing that we can do is we're going to be looking to combine like terms. We can combine this, we can combine that, okay? So that means that it's going to give us 2 is less than a negative 4a plus, adding these together gives me 2. What do I do next? It's the same thing I've been doing. I can now subtract 2 from each side. I'm trying to get the a by itself. So I subtract 2 on both sides of my inequality. Okay? Uh-oh. Guess what happens when I subtract this 2? These cancel out too. So it's telling me that 0 is less than a negative 4a. So what do I do? Just so that you guys can see this. 0 divided by a negative 4 gives you what? 0. Sorry. So 0, and we're going to rewrite this so that means that a is less than 0. And our sign here indicates that it's going to be what? An open circle. So we're going to put the open circle under the 0. And it's saying that a is going to be smaller than 0. So to be smaller than 0 means that your line has to go in the left-hand side. Going towards the left, I'm sorry, towards your negative 6. You should be able to do 3. You should be able to do 4. You should be able to do 5. And now I'm going to come to the one with the parentheses. Remember, parentheses means what? We have to Distribute. Yay! I'm so excited. All right. So we're going to take our -2 and we have to distribute it to the 1. Take our -2 and we have to distribute it to the 8p. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this. So 110 is greater than or equal to a -2, because my -2 times 1 still gives me a -2. And then my -2 times a -8 gives me a positive 16p. Am I done with this problem? No. Can I combine any like terms on the right-hand side of my inequality? No. Can I combine any terms on the left-hand side of my inequality? No. So what do? I'm just going to add 2 to both sides of my inequality, which leaves me with 112 is greater than or equal to 16p. So what do I do here? So now this right here indicates, right? This indicates that I have to divide. So I'm going to divide by 16 on both sides. Wonderful. And these, and these cancel out. So let's see what this comes up with. Something tells me 112 divided by 16. Oop, look, it gave me a great number. It gave me 7. So that means that my 7 is greater than or equal to p. Is this written correctly? No. Rewrite this. Okay? That's how we're going to rewrite this. That p is less than or equal to 7. So is this an open or a closed circle? That's your next question you need to ask yourself every single time. This is a closed circle. So I should have a closed circle under my 7. So it's saying p is less than 7. So remember, this is the smaller number. This is the bigger number. So if it's a less than, smaller than, that means we're going to be going in the left hand direction or left side. All right. So I'm not going to go over all of these with you, but it's important for you to recognize. I'm just going to show you that you guys are going to have to distribute before you can solve. Okay? So I'm going to distribute this for you. I'm going to show you how we do this. 8 times 3 gives you 24. So that means this would be a -24. 8 times, I'm sorry, -8 times -7. What does that give me? It gives me a positive 56 plus 56x. Don't forget your x. Minus x is greater than or equal to 464. Okay, I told you I wasn't going to do this one, but I think I am. So we need to look to see if there's any like terms that we can solve on, or that we can combine on the left-hand side of the equation, and there are. There's a positive 56 and there's a negative x. So I'm going to rewrite this. So this is going to be -24. If I have positive 56 and a negative 1x, it's just going to be a positive 55. X is greater than or equal to 464. Now what do? I have a -24 I need to get rid of, because remember, I'm trying to get x by itself. So I'm going to add 24 to both sides of my inequality. These cancel out. This is going to give me 55. X is greater than or equal to, add these together. So we have 464 plus 24, and it will give you 488. Are we done? No. We're going to divide by what? 55. These cancel out. X is greater than or equal to, divided by 55. divided by 55. Oop, and this give me some little funky number. So write down your answer. Make sure you go through and check to make sure this was done correctly. Also do the same thing here. Before you can solve this equation, you have to distribute your 3. Your 3 needs to be multiplied to the 8. And then your 3 needs to be multiplied times the 6a. All right? So I want you to do complete number 7, complete number 8, complete number 9, complete number 10, complete number 11, complete number 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, you guys, I'll be looking for all of these to be done. All right. If you finish this with the quickness and you are done and there is still time left in class after you finish this practice work, then you need to go back onto Google Classroom and look at the instructions that I gave you guys, where you guys can go on Math Space. I've assigned, I think it's 3 different Math Space for you guys to complete. So you guys should have plenty of work to do. And if you need to, you can always send me a message on Remind. All right, you guys, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye.